And so to the news. Now, I'm sure you're aware on this programme we're not particular fans of the personalised registration number. We don't play golf. However, some people out there do have a handicap, and the DVLA is only too happy to serve them. In fact, they're having an auction of special number plates, and they say they've got something for the music enthusiast. Have a look at this. Now, I'm slightly baffled because I didn't know that drum kits had to be registered, for one thing. And also, I can't quite see the music connection because this number plate is for a bloke called Les who lives somewhere off the B347. The DVLA says that says Beatles. But I'd like to suggest that it just doesn't.
If I were following a car that said B347 Les on it, I wouldn't think, it's Ringo Starr.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we have a look at some of the others that are coming out? And I want you to see if you can guess what they actually say. These have been sold by the DVLA. Look at that.
This I don't get. This I don't, because I can see what it says.
This was up for sale for £22,000.
So you have a bit of an embarrassing problem.
You drive around going, my dicky doesn't work, and I'm spending £22,000 advertising the fact.
I wonder if you can get floppy on one.
Yes, floppy is what. Well, you'd be driving a floppy. You'd be driving a car with a big bonnet.
Let's have another one.
Come on, let's have another one. What's that?
There's no iron's toast.
Do you want to know? £1,125, and even if it did say toast...
Why do you want toast on your car?
Toast!
What do you might as well have broccoli?
Stupid word to have on the back of your car.
Blancmange.
What's another one?
Stamps.
That's even more idiotic! It doesn't say stamps, but even if it did...
It's just a random elbow. Oh, well, that's very cool.
1,200 quid. Stamps.
1,200
Oh, yeah, P147 boy, I've met him.
The point I want to make here is, here we've got a government agency selling us these number plates on the basis that you can tweak around with them to make them say something else. Then you have another government agency with tall hats and plastic shoes booking you for changing your number plate round so it says stamps.
Absolutely right. Welcome to Britain.
Welcome to Britain, everybody.
Sticking with our theme of the Germans, here's a worrying piece of news. You have to bear with me, it'll take a second to get there. Mercedes, next to their factory, they have a car park. Into that car park, they put all the new cars as they build them. So they line them all up, all shiny. Their problem is, every year there are massive hailstorms. Massive. Big hailstones come down, ruin the paint on all their brand new cars. Mercedes, being Mercedes, obvious solution, well, just control the weather. So they've learned a way of sending aeroplanes up, and they drop chemicals on the clouds, and that in turn breaks down and dissolves the hailstones. No hailstones, doesn't destroy the cars.
But this is a big problem.
Well, this is a big problem, because those hailstorms came for a good reason. God sent them, and God sent them with good reason, because just up the road from the Mercedes factory is the German wine-producing area. God doesn't like German wine, let's be honest.
So every year, God sends hailstorms to flatten the German vines, so we don't have to have any Blue Nun and Black Tower. And now Mercedes has gone along. We've got rid of the clouds. More German wine, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen.
It's terrifying. It's bad news.
No, but I just wondered, why don't they just, for example, build a shed?
Well, because they're German.
They're Germans. This would be simple.
If it's hailing, I don't think...
It is easier to send a Messerschmitt into the clouds and shoot
the clouds out of the sky. Have a new car coming next year. At the moment, it's called the Concept S2. Here's a picture of it. They're actually not going to call it that when they bring it in. They're going to call it the Suzuki Swift, which it won't be, obviously.
No, we doubt that'll be Swift.
No.
You look at that and you go, there's not a Swift car.
Suzuki Sluggish.
Land Rover Discoveries, you know how they're bought chiefly by murderers, burglars, robbers?
It's a bit sweeping, that, Jeremy.
I promise you, they are. All of them. All burglars have Discoveries.
Are you sure?
Yes. I mean, I'm not trying to say it the other way round. Not everyone in a Discovery is a burglar, but all burglars do have Discoveries. There's a new Discovery coming along next year, and it's going to have a ladder chassis. But what I'm interested in, if we get up a picture of the old Discovery, you know this kink in the back? Why did you need such a tall boot?
Well, for a bit of space.
Right, but you know, whose dog is that tall? I need extra headroom for my dog.
Could be claustrophobic.
No, a dog's like a hamster.
No, it's not. No, it's bigger.
It's
different.
Have you, if you were to, no, I'm not saying you should, but if you were to shave a hamster... I don't mean you should go out and do that. Whatever you do, don't, in fact. But you know...
It's been great doing this show.
They're tiny. Hamsters are tiny. Well, just a lot of dogs are like that. They are. I've got a big off-road, or used to have a big off-road Toyota Land Cruiser. You load it up with kids, all the kids' friends, bicycles, the whole lot, and then the dog sits there going... Oh, all right, you can come. And there's no space. But the dog, given the choice of staying at home or going in the car, will find somewhere to get fit. They do. So why do you need it to be that tall?
If you had a giraffe, it would like it.
Nobody's got a giraffe.
Meerkats. They stand up on the hind legs.
Again,
They
Richard,
need...
nobody has a pet meerkat.
If you had a meerkat crossed with a Labrador, because they like to... It could stand up, and it could... Look, there's a window there. It could look out there.
So there we are then, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a burglar or a robber and you've got a meerkat crossed with a Labrador, just wait for that to come out. What's next?
Let's talk about the Jag...
Calendars, OK? It's a fairly simple thing, you know, to get a good calendar. When you walk into one of these tyre repair places or, you know, a clutch fitting what, they've got it on the wall. What do you need to get a good one? You need a girl.
Yes. Baby oil.
Baby oil.
Put on her.
To put on her, because she doesn't need clothes.
And that's it, really.
That's it, really. New Pirelli calendar's out. Would you like to see it? You'd like to see that? How could they have got it that wrong? Look!
That's just an office accident.
She's
come
just
off a chair.
A woman wearing a jacket last worn by Carol Decker into POW has fallen off a chair.
She's probably spilled her coffee. Actually, it's quite a sad incident.
That's rubbish.
It's
There's no
that
tyres
is-
on it, anyway.
No, exactly.
OK, would you like to look at this one?
What?
Look at it. And do you know
I'm sorry,
something...
that is not going to...
Do you know something really bizarre? You can't even use it as a calendar. Because how do you ring it going children's nativity play?
There aren't any dates on it.
There are. They're here. Can you try and see this? Look. There you go, look.
Oh, you can see it.
It does
Oh, well, that's
actually
just
have...
stupid.
I think, quite honestly, we should do a Top Gear calendar.
That
God,
would
not
be
be on it.
No. No.
No.
But, I mean, how hard can it be?
Make one, you mean?
January?
Sort it out.
February.
Where?
Not you, sir.
Look at
Behind
people
you.
edging away.
Ooh!
March.
Well, hey.
March is sorted.
August?
Possibly April as well.
What are you doing in August? Anything? You busy? Are you with him?
Yeah.
Right. You can go and sort that one out.
Thank you.
Nodding furiously.
Ooh, yes, please. I was saving you for December, actually. Right, good. I think we've got enough there, then.
Right, the new VW Golf GTI. Here it is. Now, when the original Golf GTI was launched, 1975, I think, it was very, very popular for one reason, which was... it was quick.
It was very quick.
It was the quickest. But over the years, the Golf GTI has put on weight, it's become more flabby, and eventually the GTI turned into a bit of a fat GIT.
So what are you saying? This one, they've gone back to basics?
Well, what they're claiming is, seen the errors of our ways, we're going back to basics. This is a proper Golf GTI.
Yes, but you see, the thing is that I've been doing some research into this, and it turns out its 2-litre turbo engine develops 200 brake horsepower.
Correct.
12 less than the Focus RS, and I think
Correct.
25 less than the
Renault
Megane 225. And is it lighter than either of those two?
It's heavier than the Ford.
There you go, you see. So they've completely missed the point. OK, news this week. We've got a new supercar. This is from a British manufacturer. It's going to cost £7,500. It runs on water, has a top speed of 280 miles an hour. Oh, no, wait, I got the picture out the mirror. So it's all just be a phase. Yeah, complete fake. I'm sorry for wasting your time, but there we are.
Such a disappointment.
Yeah, sorry. Now, message from the production office of Top Gear. Serious message, I'm afraid. They say we have too much fun, we drive too many nice, expensive cars, and what we've got to do is, after this show, we've got to go off and buy a car each that will cost us less than £100.
100 quid?
Yep, then we've got to bring it here, so it's got to be taxed and tested.
A working car?
Yeah, working car, road legal, working car. Bring it here, and then in the week they're going to set us a number of challenges, and then we'll run the report next week.
100 quid
Yeah.
for a car.
So that's something not to look forward to.
Let's move on.
I'm going to be going, and the car that I'm going to make a beeline for is this new Noble, right? Now, Noble, small British manufacturer, they've been making a car called the M12 for ages and ages. We love it.
Love it to bits.
It handles beautifully. Anyway, they've decided now to go after a Ferrari with this.
Ooh.
That is a sexy-looking car. It's called the M14, as you can see. It's £75,000, does 190 miles an hour. Basically the same as the M12 underneath, same engine and so on, but really a very beautiful thing, that. We really like it, but the best thing about it, the best thing, right, is it's got this rev counter, and when you start off, it's blue, the actual needle is blue, then when you get higher up, pink, then when you go in the red zone, it turns red. We've got a film of it. Look, watch this. Look, pink, red. Oh, look at that blue, pink, red. I mean, I'd pay £75,000 just for that.
Well, I'm going to do what I've been doing pretty much every year since I was 12, really, which is walk in, go straight to the Ferrari stand, because I want to look at the 612 Scaglietti, a proper V12 front-engine Ferrari, 199 miles an hour, 4 seats. That's my kind of Ferrari.
We've got that here. Not exactly big crowds, no. I would say.
Just a bloke cleaning the stand, I think.
That was taken on press day. No one's interested, and we have a very good reason for that. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago on the Cool Wall. Now, the problem with this car is it was designed by a man called Ken. We've never heard of anyone called Ken who's cool. No. Ever. So we thought it can't be a cool car because Ken styled it.
But then we thought, hang on, well, I certainly believe that somewhere out there is a cool Ken. So we invited people to send in. And if we can find a cool Ken, then the car moves up the cool wall to become cool.
We've had a number of emails and letters, thousands and thousands, and the best one, the coolest Ken, to send us his picture is this chap. Oh. Now, the idea was you had to write, I'm Ken and I'm cool, not I'm Ken and I noticed that you've got a big overdraft. Yeah. Which is what that guy would have said.
We're not quite there yet, are we?
No, we're not.
Stays where it is for now.
He tells us he's buying a Boxster. I don't think that's going to improve his image.
Briefly, Aston Martin DB9, we're big fans of that car on this programme. We all love it, do we not, chaps? Good news, or exciting news anyway, they're going to be making a racing version of it. Here it is. I just want to show you it, really. I mean, oh.
Isn't that just stunning?
It's fantastic. That looks
glorious.
Gorgeous.
Now, we've been having a bit of a go at caravans lately, you especially, saying they don't stop and let people pass, they go too slowly. We've had a response from a viewer. Here it is.
Up yours, Jeremy Clarkson of Top Gear, a caravanner.
Yeah, well, you see, look, I've lost interest in caravans now, to be perfectly honest, for one very good reason. There's only 500,000 of them in the country, and I've got a new problem, which is horses, because there are 1 million of those. Now, I want to say, at this point, I like horses very much. Bit of relish, they are delicious.
I like to ride horses, personally.
You can ride them. It is possible to ride a horse, and that's probably fun too.
It is.
Trouble is, yesterday I was coming to work, 7 miles of A road, a horse box in front of me, never once exceeded 20 miles an hour. Now, you've got a huge queue, lots of impatient people all on the wrong side trying to overtake, very dangerous, and you know that there's a 25-year-old girl in the horse box, and she's only really worried about the pet in the back. Now, we've got to do something about this.
It's very, very annoying.
Yeah, but what can we do?
I think the solution is just make horse boxes faster.
But you see, you can't.
Put a bigger engine in, it's not...
No, you can't, because the horse is going to fall over.
Pack it in. Just
what with?
Jam it. Other horses. Put more horses in. Put, like, 4 horses in it.
Shetland ponies sort of wedging it so it stops it?
Pack them in like that.
Hang on, no, he might be right. We could be clever about this. I think horses might interlock if you put one horse... No, they might. If you think about it, they're thin at... No, they're thin at the bottom and fat at the top.
You're
looking
not
from
a
the front.
Are you?
No, I'm not. But if you put the other ones in upside down...
Yeah, no, I know where you're going, that you're being silly. I have a plan, OK? You know when you go to Dixon's and buy a television, it comes in like a polystyrene thing. But if you've got a horse-shaped 2 pieces like that with a handle on it...
That's stupid. How's it going to breathe in there? That's a rubbish idea.
That's a rubbish idea.
OK, no, how about this? Brush the horse vigorously and then have a Velcro-lined horse box and show it into the side.
But how are you going to get it out at the other end?
So it'll just stick to the wall?
Yeah.
Well, then you'll tear its skin off when you try and take it. You'll have all these skinless horses.
What, a bald horse?
Oh, that's not nice, have
No, maybe not. I don't know. Has anyone else got any thoughts on what we could do? What? No, I can't. What? I'm deaf.
Make it sit down.
Can you make a horse sit down?
Well, you're going to give it a little chair with a lap strap and a clip.
Anyone else got any thoughts? 2 horses. This sounds good.
So you don't have to move them.
2 horses. You own 2 horses. You have one where you live and one where you're going.
That's...
And then you don't have to move them.
That's...
That is brilliant.
That is brilliant.
Back to the motor show, if we could. I'm going to be going straight to the TVR stand to see the Cigarist because it is, as far as I'm aware, the first car ever designed by an axe murderer. Look. See? Now, clearly he finished it, didn't like it, and then went berserk and cut it to bits. Look at it. It's fabulous.
That is just... I hate this roof.
It's rubbish. That is going to be a fabulous machine. 400 brake horsepower, 195 miles an hour for about 50,000. I'm looking forward to that.
Of course, the big star of the motor show, without a question of doubt, is the Porsche Carrera GT. No doubt about that. 312,000, here it is. £312,000, 200 and something miles an hour. But we can save you a trip to Birmingham. Just hang on about 40 minutes. We've got it here on our track, going bananas.
Oh, yes.
So that's something to look forward to. Oh, yeah, one thing about the motor show we ought to make plain. If you want to see a BMW there, have a look around the car park, because BMW have decided, in their infinite wisdom, not to bother turning up.
Seriously, they're not there with any cars, and we don't get that because I think I'm right in saying the UK is the world's third biggest market for
Yeah, we buy more BMs than anyone except for the Americans and the Germans.
So it's not like we don't matter to them.
No, and it isn't as though they don't know where Birmingham is. I mean, they just have to ask their dads.
They found it.
I mean, let's be honest, the NEC was built on waste ground created by the Luftwaffe.
Who were powered by BMW engines.
Absolutely. The Junkers 88 had BMW engines. There's no doubt. I actually rang BMW and said, why aren't you going to the motor show in Britain? And they said, oh, well, BMW in Germany doesn't want to fund it. They don't think it's worth it.
What, they don't do motor shows?
No, 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 no. They're going to still go to American motor show. They'll go to the German motor show. They'll go to the Japanese motor show. Just not us.
So it's personal.
It's a personal thing, so we've had an idea.
So we have come up with a plan, and it's a good one, OK? This is what we do. We worked it out. We reckon it costs a manufacturer about 5 million quid to go to a motor show by the time they've bought the stand space and put all the people and the cars on it, OK? 5 million quid. So we're looking for 100 volunteers who were going to be buying, say, an X5 BMW, not to buy one.
Buy a Range Rover instead, it's a better car.
Yeah. So you're getting a better car anyway, and of course 100 people, 50 grand a pop, that adds up to 5 million quid. So we'll have cost them what they would have spent on the motor show anyway.
Please write to us and tell us. The 7 Series would work as well. Buy a Jag, it's better.
And we'll start the news with the new discovery. The first one has been delivered to a man in Northern Ireland, and we have a picture of the event.
That's amazing!
Now, the question here, I think, is not why, but how.
How did a helicopter lift that? I mean, that's a Puma, isn't it?
Yeah, that's for sort of small tanks.
Yeah, I mean, they're easy compared to a Discovery.
I think it would have been easier to attach the helicopter to the world and pull the whole planet round until the car was near the man's house.
Less ambitious project.
Than do that.
Yeah.
We've actually got a photograph of a road in Japan, actually, that had been used as a test route for the Discovery. I think we can show that to you. There you are. That's the kind of damage you can do with one of those things.
Right, news of another car. Can I show you? It's the PT Cruiser Cabriolet. Have a look at this. Now, I have one question. I got one question. How much don't you want that car? I mean, seriously. It's
How much is it?
It's 17,500. Oh, I can't even look at it. 17,500 pounds.
17. I would rather eat £17,500 in pound coins.
I'd rather eat 17,500 pounds worth of gravel than that.
You know how Socrates died?
No.
Hemlock.
He drank hemlock because the option he was offered was to have a Greek soldier, and this is true, put his fist up his bottom and pull his heart out.
Enjoy
It's a true story, that, or you can drink hemlock. I'd rather have the Greek soldier. Go on. Oh, this smarts. Oh, my heart's coming down my back passage, but at least I haven't got a PT convertible.
That's
Look at
perfectly
it.
fair enough.
What the hell were they thinking
all
of?
this business.
It's so awful. No, I was going to take the mickey out of you for that car. The problem is, I think it's fantastic. Don't you think?
I'm just very scared.
It is a seriously cool... No, there's nothing coming. I think it's a very cool car. I think you've done very well. I've even had a T-shirt made for you that you can wear while you're driving it.
What, we charge you it?
Yeah, there you are. Look. Look at that. Big car, small Richard. I've got a beef this week. You know the local traffic interrupt thing that comes onto your radio to tell you about a broken Pelican crossing in a street you're not going to in a town you've never heard of?
Yes.
And you miss the news and you miss your favourite bit of song. It's driving me up the wall. It's absolutely driving me potty. Because then he just does all that and then they forget to turn it off. So you have to sit and listen to this cheerful local radio DJ who then plays a Phil Collins record.
No, I'm not having this. So I know how this worked, because I started in local radio.
We can tell, actually.
From the moors to the shores, from the vales to the dales, across North Yorkshire, Richard Hammond, till 2 o'clock in the morning. Every time. But it's good training, don't knock it. I was sitting there, I remember the day this traffic system arrived. Sitting there at my desk, a man came in with a button. He said, here you go, new button. When you're going to do your traffic, press this button, and all the radios across the whole county will be switched to you. Really? Wallop. I mean, you're going to leave
You know what I mean? You have that. They just will not turn them off. After they've told you the useless traffic report, they won't turn them off. So I've had this idea. Wait for the local radio DJ to be getting married. You know, when they allow homosexual marriage. When that's happening, all right? They're not all... Just as they're about to do their vows, barge in there and go, there's a complete tailback all the way up the high street, left of the traffic lights right down there, they're broken. And here's Phil Collins. I can feel it coming.
Yeah, funny. Just leave local radio. It provides a much appreciated and valued service for literally tens of people across the country. So leave it alone, all right? In this series...
hey, now, you know the Bugatti Veyron? Are you familiar? Yeah, it's this Volkswagen bought Bugatti and said, we're going to make a supercar that's got 1,000 horsepower. Which sounds great, but they haven't yet worked out how such a thing might be possible.
They just said it.
They just said it. Anyway, they're still working away on it. Now, the people that were making all the sort of perfume and the leather wash bags that were going to go with it, you know, Bugatti-branded stuff, got bored with waiting, so they're all starting to launch the stuff. And the latest, right, is this watch, OK? This is a Bugatti Veyron watch that I'm wearing.
Very nice.
OK? Now, you can't see the face there because when you hold the steering wheel, OK, like this, see? That's where the face is. Because when you're holding the steering wheel, if you don't want to look at the clock on the dash for whatever reason, you can look at your wristwatch without taking your hand off the steering wheel.
Hey, that's...
Guess how much it is?
No idea.
£1,000? 140,000.
No!
And it's absolutely hideous. The ridiculous thing is that trying to do it up, it took 3 men. 3 men to help me put it on. So I was like, how does this clip work? Because honestly, you need a butler to help you work that out.
That's 140 grand for a watch commemorating a car that doesn't exist.
And never will exist.
That's amazing.
Oh, I've got papers this week about short people. Was in all the stories, basically, you're rubbish in bed and you're useless at work.
Come on, don't get off the subject. What was wrong?
It was the immobiliser. The car's fine, OK? It was the immobiliser. You know that little flipper thing?
Yeah.
Wouldn't unimmobilise the engine. So it had to go back to Ford.
Did it?
Yes.
And then they fixed it and it's...
Yes, and then they brought it back, and the night they brought it back 2 days later at 3 o'clock in the morning, the alarm went off.
No.
Then again at 4.
Oh, wait.
And the next night at 11.
Did it wake you up?
Yeah.
And the kids?
Yeah.
And the dogs?
Yeah.
Oh. So what?
And then this is when it gets really good, OK? I had to take it back to Ford. The alarm keeps blowing for no reason. So on my way back, it's got one of those tracker things on it, you know, where if somebody steals it, it automatically sends out an SOS. They rang me up, the tracking people, and said, your car's been stolen.
Are you in it?
Yeah. No, it's all right, I'm in it. So I don't know why they just rang me up and said, your car's been stolen, and what's your password? Who knows their password? Does anyone here know their password? I don't know. Well, we're gonna... And they can remotely shut the car down. So he's like, if you shut this down, I'm going to come there, I'm going to eat your heart. I had no idea what my password was.
So did he stop it?
No, he didn't. I finally got it back to Ford, and then I picked it up again yesterday, last night.
Finally, it's mended, hurrah.
No.
You're joking.
I'm not. Got in it this morning to come down here. Ring, ring! Your car's been stolen. No! It hasn't. And then again and again. Honestly, I've got my phone here, OK? I've got my phone. They send you a text, OK, when it's been stolen. Look at this, OK? Read. Look at that. Theft alert. The car was stolen at 8:49 a.m. 8:22 a.m. 7:22 a.m.
Oh, dear.
It was stolen 5 times on the way down here this morning. 5 times.
So they're going to fix it eventually?
Yes. If you don't mend it, I'm going to bone your dog. It's taken all the bones out of my dog.
Mind you, they gave you a courtesy car, didn't they?
Yes. They gave me a courtesy car.
And it
Here's
was?
my Ford. It's broken. I thought it'll be a DB9. I mean, they, you know, Ford own Aston,
yeah.
Range Rover. No, it was a Focus Estate with a diesel engine.
I love that. 2 years wait for a Focus Estate diesel.
And a big alarm clock.
Right. You know, we're always banging on about speed cameras, OK? Well, I've got some facts that you might like to digest, OK? Last year in Hertfordshire, the number of cameras they had went up by 24%. Deaths went up by 34%. Wiltshire, cameras went up 14%. Deaths went up 22%. It's the same story in Avon and Somerset, same story in North Wales. OK, now County Durham, no cameras, deaths went down 24%. And North Yorkshire as well, no cameras, deaths down 9%. Right. And there's a very good reason for this. Because if you're driving down a road that's got loads of cameras, all you're looking at is your speedometer and into bushes. And you're never looking where you're going. You know the Institute of Advanced Motorists, this lot?
The wheel shufflers.
The wheels, they always drive.
They do, a lot
what
of
do you think I meant? They always drive. Anyway.
Wheel shufflers.
Yes, the wheel shufflers. Even they are now saying that they want more warning of speed cameras, and they've said, why can't they put the speed limit that is prevailing at the time on the back of the camera?
That's a brilliant idea.
That is a brilliant idea, because how many times do you see a camera and think, I don't know what the speed limit is?
Anyway, chaps, very, very bad news, I'm afraid.
What?
The Clio V6,
yes.
you know, the mid-engine really bonkers one, there it is.
Yeah.
Gone?
No.
Going.
I love that car.
They're brilliant.
I mean, it had the worst turning circle in the world.
Oh, yeah, you had to go into Germany to turn it
You
round.
had to go round the world to actually turn it round. Why are they dropping it?
Well, because there's a new Clio. We've got a picture of the new Clio, in fact. There it is.
Yeah.
And they say that the regular hot front-drive version of that is going to be good enough.
Rubbish.
Well, it won't be mad enough.
Wrong, Renault,
That's a shame.
wrong. You're wrong, wrong, wrong. And there's more bad news, because you know the Honda NSX?
Another good car.
Going as well.
Oh.
Honda have announced that they're dropping the NSX.
Oh,
So thank you very much, Mr. Blair.
why are you blaming him?
Well, he takes the credit for the Olympics and the economy, which he had nothing to do with, so he can take the blame for that.
Fair enough.
Now, on average, every year, 4 people crash into my garden. 4?
That's more than the national average.
It is, you're
Not
right.
many people have that many people crash into their front garden.
Gets worse. This week, 2. 2 in a week.
In 1 week?
2 in a week. And I think the problem is, they know I live there, and they're sort of, hey, look at me, look at me. And the problem is, OK, can I just explain this? I have been driven round Fiorano in a Ferrari by Michael Schumacher. That was impressive. Watching a Vauxhall Nova bouncing across my front lawn doesn't float my boat.
There's a perfectly simple explanation for this. You bought a house on a tight bend, didn't you? What have you been doing for the last 15 years? Driving round tight bends on television going, power! And then you're surprised when you wake up and there's a Peugeot 106 in your potting shed.
That's a good theory.
Thank you, James, for that one. Oh, now, Volvo has introduced a new convertible. We've got a picture of it here. There you are.
Yeah, these things start from £27,000 up to 33. This is the T5 version. It's got a 220 brake horsepower, 5-cylinder turbocharged engine.
Best thing, though, is this roof, because, look, they've been to IKEA, haven't they? That is a flat-pack roof.
That's very
Tell
complicated.
it's Swedish. No, it's very good.
The Dodge Challenger. Now, this started life as a concept car, but they've announced this week that they are going to be making it. Probably only in America, and not until 2008. Don't know the prices yet, but it will have a 6.1-litre Hemi V8.
And it'll be rubbish.
How can you possibly know? You haven't driven it, they haven't built it yet.
Because it's American. All American cars are rubbish. I was over there the other day, and I drove that Chrysler 300C SRT8. Have you ever got a picture of that thing?
Yes.
Appalling in every way.
Why?
Well, because it's a 300C, which we hate.
It's not very good, granted.
And then they've gone and put a Saturn V rocket in it without doing anything to the brakes or the suspension or anything. It's dreadful.
You see, what you're doing there is talking rubbish. It's got the same Hemi V8 in it. It's a muscle car. Come on, it's a proper American muscle car. This Dodge...
It's manure!
It's not!
It
is! Proper... Oh, I want to see my Challenger again. There, look, it's got a massive engine, it'll make the right noise, and look...
That is a muscle car. It's a BMW M6, they've just locked the roof off it, OK? 500 brake horsepower.
No, it's not as simple as that. Actually, that's too complicated, that thing. It's a computer, it's got 7 gearboxes.
Listen, that thing, OK? Yes. Who was that? Is like that ape that came to Wimbledon. What was he called?
What are you talking about?
That big ape in the final, Nadal. Loping around. He was loping around the court like something out of that PG Tips advert. Now, that is Federer, OK? No. And Federer kicked the ape's arse.
Yes,
and
but
that's what would happen.
on, you fool. We're talking about muscle cars. That is not a... It's a great car.
What about that,
agile,
then?
But...
Look at that. It's a new Jag, Tim Henman. No, that doesn't work.
Not working.
No, that doesn't work at all. That's the new supercharged Jag, OK? Yes. XKR, what, it's 69,000 quid, 420 brake horsepower. It would eat this.
No,
I like you.
Muscle
do,
cars.
and it's those wheels.
Stop.
You've been...
Stop.
We've stopped.
You're both wrong. What you actually want, I'm afraid, is this.
No, we don't.
This is the revised... if I may, that's the revised Daihatsu Copen, and in your tennising analogy that you made, that is the ball. That is 660 cc's of flexing micro-Japanese sinew.
I'd rather ride around on a lawnmower than in that thing. For one thing, for you would look such a spanner in that.
No, I wouldn't.
You would, because you'd be sticking up above it with your big floppy hair like a spaniel. Never, ever, ever, ever drive a car that you were taller than when you're sitting in it than it is long. You'll look like Noddy with bad hair.
Now, yes, the Alfa Romeo Brera, remember that? It was in the studio last series. You two were getting a bit tumescent about it.
Oh, it's fab. The Brera, it's just a fab car.
Quite a nice-looking car. I've got some more details of it. Let's have a look at it first. There you are, very pretty. 2.2-litre version. Price will be £25,000.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. That's £3,000 more than a Mazda RX-8. 0 to 60, 8.6 seconds.
That's a lot too.
That's a lot. That's slow, he means. In fact, it's the same as a 1976 Rover. Still want one?
Yes,
yep,
I do.
Yep, we do.
It's like Cameron Diaz, isn't it? We know that she's a vegetarian. We know she's a committed eco-mentalist. Would you say no?
No.
You might. That is Cameron Diaz with wheels on, that is.
Have you seen this? There's a survey out this week, OK, that says 25% of British men would rather be a passenger in a car with Jeremy Clarkson than with Angelina Jolie.
Oh, for God's sake.
Let's have a look at Ms. Jolie, just so we can see what we're on about here.
The world has gone mad.
You're with me, aren't you?
Yes, Jeremy.
He'd rather have me than her.
Quite possibly.
Put that wrong.
I'd have guessed that. Look at you.
Now listen, 25% of British men. I have been in a car with Jeremy Clarkson. To be honest, I haven't been in a car with Angelina Jolie, but I'm prepared to take a punt that Angelina Jolie is the better option.
We begin, well, actually, we begin with last week, because you mocked me for wearing a suit. You may remember this, yes? Because Christian Scott Thomas was down here. Tuesday, he walked into the office dressed like this.
Yeah.
Look at him. Where'd you been?
I'd been invited to number 10 to a one-on-one chat with the Prime Minister. So, you know, put a suit.
So you go down there, you're in number 10.
Yeah.
Sitting with him.
Yeah.
Did you vomit on him?
No, you can't vomit on the Prime Minister, mate. No.
Well, you can, if you had loads of cheese soup before you get there. And then, like, some salt water, all over him. You could easily have done that.
No.
You didn't.
No, I didn't. No.
Did you punch him in the face?
No! Look, I didn't vomit on or punch the Prime Minister in the face, OK?
How close were you to him at any one point?
Well, I was sitting next to him. Look, there's a picture, hang on, of us. There you see, there's him.
You could have easily punched him in the face from there, you idiot.
He was sick. No, just straight all over his leg and his cufflinks.
No, look, that's not...
Those are the two things that you're best at in the world. Being sick and punching people.
He came round to your house once, didn't he?
Yes, he was... One time you came to my house, you vomited all over my sofa.
Sorry about that.
My house vomited all over me.
I did do
So
that.
you vomited all over your mate. Why couldn't you vomit over him?
I'm sorry! He'd invited me round for a chat, so it wasn't appropriate.
About what?
About road pricing.
And what did he say?
That we need to do something about congestion.
Well, did you tell him if you got rid of the bloody M4 bus lane, that might help? Did you tell him that?
I didn't say that. I wasn't sick on him. I didn't
Did you
punch
tell him to
on-
get rid of speed humps?
No.
Did you tell him to up the speed limit on the motorway to 150? Because that will shorten... Did you tell him that?
All right, I'm
Punch
beginning
him
to...
in the face.
I let you down, lads. I'm
Because,
sorry.
OK, road pricing is coming, and it's his fault.
I now realise I've let you down, and I'm sorry.
It's not us.
You've let everybody down here. You've let him down. He can't even afford proper clothes.
You could have been the first person in British history to punch the Prime Minister in the face and be sick on him.
All
That
right,
would have been in,
I will
in
be the
record
first
book.
person to punch you in the face on television.
Now
in a minute.
that's more like it.
flying out.
Like that with him.
Can
Listen.
we move on?
It's not the sound of Cameron Diaz reaching for a car key. Come on, then.
What?
Well, you were there, weren't you?
What?
Oh, what? Where?
Oh, yeah,
the
what?
big party. Beckham.
Oh, the Beckhams.
Oh, that one.
I did. I went. Best bit, I gotta tell you, right, the best bit was we got a car to take us with the driver, and my wife got into it to go home at about 3:30 in the morning, got halfway home, it's an hour and a half, turned to tell me something and realised she'd left me behind.
Hey, private number plates. We don't really like them very much, do we?
awful.
Apart from when... The only time they're really vaguely acceptable is when they make a rude word.
Yeah.
Well, the DVLA has been sifting through them. Every now and again they do this, don't they? They have a cull of ones that they think might be rude. So there's another batch that aren't allowed. Yeah. Well, you can't now have A55 HOL.
That's a bottom thing.
Yeah, you can't have that. You can't have... Oh, yeah, it's a shame. Can't have that.
That's a bottom thing.
These have all really been banned. But there were a few surprising ones. I couldn't get this at first, but you can't have that. And it took a bit of time, but I've worked it out.
Hamas.
Yes.
Hamas. That's a pity. I'd like to have had that, put it on a Toyota pickup truck.
Oh, yeah!
Because you could have parked outside the Palace of Westminster, nobody would have given you a ticket. You'd have left there like an alarm clock on the passenger seat.
Just some big pipes on top of it. Just delivering pipes today.
Yeah. Oh, God. Now, listen, you know eBay, OK? If you're planning on selling a car on eBay, a couple of tips. Try to get as much information in, about the car without being boring, OK? So service history, mileage, OK? And get a nice photograph. Don't just use one that you've got lying around, especially if you've taken it just after the car had been put in a ditch, like this chap.
What? That's not
That was a
photograph.
genuine, and as a result of that, the winning bid was £139.
It's in a ditch!
Yeah. He said that was the only picture he had of it.
What an idiot!
Yeah. Word of warning, you know, you can now buy radar-guided cruise control for your car. I first tested it with a Mercedes, and I liked it very much. The idea is you set the cruise control, go along at a speed. If a car pulls out in front of you, your car sees it, slows you down to the speed it's going. When it pulls over, you accelerate back up to the speed you selected, OK? And I thought that was great, but I tried it on a Volvo this week. What it does when it slows down, is apply the brakes, and the brake lights come on.
Well, yeah, but it's putting the brakes on to slow you down. It's very clever.
No. You should never apply the brakes on a motorway.
Well, it's a
No, it's brake lights are what's caused all the tailbacks and everything. It's just people who can't maintain a constant speed. Do you know what I mean? There's those people that drive with like there's a braking, like accelerated too close. I'd have police marksmen shoot them in the head for doing that. But I have never braked on a motorway.
What if something's in the way? What if somebody swerves and you've got to...
You see them coming. If it's an old Rover, you know it's being driven by a man with ears the size of a satellite dish. You don't ever need to brake, you just prepare yourself. Do you know the game? If you ever played that game, the I Have Never game, you think of things, you know, around a table. I've never braked, never bought anything in Marks and Spencer's, and then if you're losing, you just go for the I've never used a tampon.
If you're a bloke, that is a winner. That is a winner. I'll remember that tip.
Yeah. Now, you ready for this? The Americans have announced their green car of the year.
Oh, good, it'll be a Toyota Prius. So
It isn't.
Electric thing?
It's a Prius Toyota.
No.
It's going to be a Prius, so...
It isn't. I've got a photograph of it here. There you go.
That's not a Prius.
No, that's
Whoa.
a 6-litre V8 Chevy Tahoe.
That's a green car
I'm
of the year.
absolutely not joking. No, it's a hybrid. They put a tiny, weeny little electric motor in it somewhere. There you are, that's a hybrid. And they've fallen for it. Does 21 miles to the gallon.
That's green.
It is very green. Actually, the funniest thing is the judges for this, OK? Do you want to know who the judges are? The American Green Car of the Year. One of them was Jay Leno.
Oh, he hates cars.
Yes, apart from his large collection of Ferraris and Porsches, he hates them.
Yeah.
Carroll Shelby.
Oh, he really hates cars.
No, Carroll Shelby was the man who put the 7-litre V8 in the AC-Ace to create the Cobra and spends his time now...
Supercharging Mustangs.
He does, yes. He puts superchargers on Mustangs. And the other judge was... he's called Jean-Michel Cousteau, and he's actually Jacques Cousteau's son. I'd love to have been in the... when they were discussing it. Shut up, you goddamn Frenchy, cheese-eating surrender monkey.
Poor bloke, when he walked in that room. It was going to be very exciting. I'm a judge, and they were there drinking petrol and supercharging their chair.
Because Shelby would be going, I know what a hybrid is. It's like country and western. Oh, now you've got one.
You know the Ford car?
Yeah.
It's been around for 11 years.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh, really? 11 years old?
It has, and they've decided to mark that anniversary with a special limited edition. And here it is. It's called the two-tone, and obviously it is two-tone. You can have that's blazer blue, or you can have panther black, teamed with moonstone silver bumpers there. Oh. It's really... But I think I know where they got that idea from. It's actually an earlier Ford. Here it is. There, you see? That's what they've... No, because no, because the bodywork is Dagenham Hospital white, and then that's burnt freesia door there, and this back door I think is from the Autumn Mist collection. That's an exciting special edition.
I have.
You've used a tampon?
Are you sure?
You know, spillage.
Oh, mate, what?
Well, I had a bit of an accident on the cooker once.
Sorry, this is getting worse.
Oh, don't hear me out. When you're boiling something, I was doing something with milk in it, and it boiled over, and it goes in that bit at the back where you can't get your finger in, and if you don't clean it up, if you don't clean that out, it goes rancid and it smells forever.
You use the tampons to clean a cooker? And this
because I couldn't get my finger in it.
He doesn't have OCD.
Listen, no...
You do have OCD.
I don't.
You know the bezel on a watch? You know the little arrow thing here? If I have it here... He's fine. But if I put it round, ready? There...
It's like kryptonite.
Get it back in the right position.
You can't bear it if I haven't got that arrow. Look!
Shall I tell you the other interesting thing about tampons? Seriously, has anybody got like an old twin-cylinder motorcycle, parallel twin? You'll know this. You always get a little bit of oil dripping.
I will not.
You will. You get a little bit of oil that always leaks out through the seal, and it collects, and then you can't get at it to mop it up. All right, you put a lillet on the end of a screwdriver, Phillips.
Do you carry them round with you on a bandolier? Like a Schwarzenegger arrangement full of tampons just in case.
It's a new application for an existing technology. I'm adapting it like we do with radio.
Go away.
What's you done? I can't stand that.
Somebody...
You can't bear it. You honestly cannot bear it if I do that.
I've got a theory.
Oh, God, don't you start with theories. We have enough with his every week.
No, it's a good one. I think Citroën is the only manufacturer that has a whole range of good-looking cars.
Very good.
Oh, what?
Well, think about it.
I am thinking about it. The cross-dresser.
That's not a good-looking car.
The cross-dresser's the weak one, but apart from that, they're all good-looking. Think of another
Picasso.
one. The Picasso, you say that, but there's a new one. Here it is. Anybody think that's not funky and good-looking?
It's not bad-looking.
It's
all right,
terrific.
C4.
C4's good, C5's good,
Pluriel.
C6.
Yes!
Cock. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you forgot about that. It's a good point, though, that. Can anybody here think which car maker doesn't make an ugly car?
What, across their whole range, not an ugly car in the range?
Alpha?
Oh, no.
No, 8C... Brera, 159.
All good-looking cars.
I'm very sorry, but they've just announced the Mito. Here it is. And that is a minger.
That is a
minger.
Has anybody else got any ideas? Aston Martin?
No.
DB9 convertibles.
That's not good looking.
It looks like it's bent.
Hummer. Who said Hummer?
Like you're thinking.
No, they're consistently ugly across their range of one car.
And they're designed by Americans who have the aesthetic ability of giraffes. I know the answer to this.
There's a surprise.
Vauxhall.
Eh? That's it. What? Are you sure?
No.
Well, think about it.
Vectra is going to be replaced with the Insignia. Fantastic-looking car. They've got the Astra.
That actually is a
That's good-looking. Corsa's really good-looking. You've seen the Agila? We've got a picture of the Agila somewhere enough. There. Sweet! sweet!
Oh, don't say sweet.
Sweet little car.
God, is it-
Vauxhall is now the only car maker in the world that doesn't make an ugly car.
There's no real minger in the range.
No, there isn't a minger. What do you say, Baldy? I can't hear a word you're saying. I'm very old. What?
It's a small one. I've just put back. Gila or something.
The Aguila?
Gila? Yeah.
Were you watching the television? That, see, look, come here. Look at that. It's sweet!
That's not the one in the showroom.
You've seen one in a Vauxhall showroom?
Yeah, over at Fairham. It's ugly.
It's probably old, that's the problem. Ugh, there's a camera got in my way. It's unbelievable nobody's listening to a word we say. I was doing a high-pitched squeak. That's really pretty. Anyone who buys one of those, I'll sleep with them. Now, Jeff Hoon, OK, is the Transport Minister, yes? And he announced this week that he wants to have more average speed cameras on the roads, OK, because he says they're good for safety and they reduce fuel consumption. Now, this is the same Jeff Hoon who, when he was Defence Secretary, said, and I'm quoting, "We know that Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction."
So he must be right about the speed cameras as well, then.
Yes, absolutely. I'll tell you what he's done, OK, because he claims he goes on the M1 a lot in those roadworks. You know, round junction 6, 8, they're up there. They've been doing them for, well, since 1850.
Forever.
Yeah, just been doing it for... Average speed cameras on that, and he says, well, there you are, you see, there's hardly been any accidents. That's because the roads are jammed up.
Not moving.
Then you can't crash when you're stationary.
Soon, though, we'll be able to... we'll have that Tory transport bloke.
Whose name is? Who?
It's a funny name for a bloke.
Teresa Villiers. How can you know that?
Because he is Teresa whatever.
Because there's only a finite amount of space for information in your head. So if he's got that in it, what's come out?
How to dress properly.
Well done, Teresa. So it's actually this man's a woman. I think that's fascinating, because she hasn't really got any policies across that we've ever seen.
Well, not that we've heard of, obviously.
So we've had to come up with some of our own. A better system than the average speed camera, OK? Have a look at this. So this is real. This is in Denmark. Look what they're doing there.
It's brilliant.
Give me one good reason why that won't work.
You'd slow down.
I'd slow right down.
Yeah.
Once again, Top Gear rides to the rescue of the nation.
Absolutely fabulous. And now, the news. And it's great news, ladies and gentlemen. It's news to warm the hearts of nations. Jeremy Clarkson has lost his voice.
I know. Imagine how we feel. Oh. They're gutted, mate. They're gutted. But the good news is that means we can talk about whatever we like and say whatever we like. So, no, let's... Yeah, whatever. So, let's get on with the news. And I thought we'd start this week with talking about this magazine called Heat.
Oh, yeah.
Every year, they do a survey in which they ask the whole world to tell them their sort of weirdest crush, their strangest, freakiest, oddest, most embarrassing, ridiculous person to fancy. And, well, do you want to guess who's... He's won it, ladies and gentlemen. Look, here he is. Look at that. Yeah. #1 weird crush. And the other thing, ladies and gentlemen, in the same magazine, this is actually quite poetic in the romance, because he's in the same magazine as his boyfriend, look! Oh, Will Young. And he loves him so much. So, Jeremy, you must be... I'm really pleased that you should share magazine space with Will Young, your boyfriend.
You know what you did the other day, when he still had his voice? He came into the office and he went, oh, have you heard Will's new single? It's fantastic.
Yeah, he loves it.
Will.
He went on about it all the time. I love Bill's new song. He does.
Can I just say...
Oh, it speaks. or sort of squeaks. Is that...
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's just a noise that you deflated. What's that? Synthetic saliva. Do you need...
It means that I have just a few minutes speaking.
Oh. So you need more saliva? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've no doubt we can oblige with that. How do you know it's synthetic and it isn't just some bloke?
You shut up for a kick-off as well.
What?
What is that noise you're making?
Have you seen his eye? He's got the biggest eye infection I've ever seen. At least I don't look like a mutant.
Has it come to this? So I'm working with these two. This isn't a television programme anymore, it's a colony.
What's next, guys?
I want to talk about Aston Martin brought out a new car. It's the 177. Here it is. It's a striking-looking thing, I know. And I think it goes to show just how in tune with the times Aston Martin are. It really is a car for the moment. 7.3-litre V12.
Oh, I'm glad about that. Must get 100 calls a day from people saying, I've got to have at least 7.3 litres and 12 cylinders. That's what I want right now, you
Very
know.
much of the moment,
Yeah.
absolutely. Price, £1.2 million.
Oh,
And
good
that's just
thinking.
now.
Literally this morning, 30 people called up. I'm not spending a penny more than 1.2 mil on my next car.
Aston have got it bang on right, because as we know, the world right now is full of stockbrokers desperate for something to blow their enormous bonus on. And there it is.
Pretty soon, Aston Martin are going to be selling more key rings than they are cars. Or making more money from them, at least.
Actually, they say that that 100 potential customers have written to them to express their interest.
100?
Yeah. Written in crayon, I suspect.
I tell you what, instead of hurling abuse at each other, excuse me, why don't we do the news?
Yes, let's do the news.
Good news, OK? We haven't been asked to do the commentary on the Formula One coverage on the BBC next year.
Yeah, it's a relief.
Good.
No, it's good news.
Especially now.
What they've got, they brought Martin Brundle over from ITV. That's fantastic. We'll be able to watch the slow march of his trousers up his stomach. They've got Eddie Jordan. He's going to be a pundit. That's fantastic. Eddie's a great guy. David Coulthard, though, is the other pundit, and that worries me because I think that means that on lap 2 of every race, your telly will suddenly go off. Or it'll just fall off the stand for no reason. Why has he done that?
Apparently, they've got Murray Walker involved.
They have Murray Walker's coming back to the BBC.
He is? Yeah. No, bless him.
It is good news.
Did you know, though, he's 84?
I know he'll be going to Silverstone going, we're all trees here when I were a lad.
Ferrari's pulled in for their first pit stop. Let's go over to Murray Walker. Murray, can someone change me bag? It's full again. Bless him, but at 84, to be commentating on F1, that's pretty cool. You won't be commentating on anything, look.
I've just thought, OK, I want to move it on. You know the Duchess of York, OK, Sarah Ferguson? She recently sold her Jaguar, which has ended up in the hands of, well, it was in the papers this week, the hands of a cabbie, Steve Coulson, 31 of the north somewhere. Now, he's gone to the papers because he found that she's left all the addresses she's been to in the sat-nav still programmed into the system. He's saying, OK, what if I'd been a terrorist? This car is a suicide bomber's dream. Now, one of the addresses in there is Windsor Castle.
Well,
another, Buckingham Palace. I think some people know where those things are already.
no, don't laugh. This is a national security nightmare. It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
And also, he has inadvertently made himself the world's most hunted man, because I'm presuming he's looked at this sat-nav.
Yeah.
He's seen the address of
He
where
knows where Windsor Castle.
Well, every terrorist organisation in the world is going to be after him for his lethal secret knowledge. I think there's only one decent course of action here.
What?
Behave with honour. Well, assuming he has destroyed it now, that's fine. He has read it. Therefore, he must kill himself and take his knowledge to the grave.
OK, now, as you can see, we are surrounded here by a mountain of motoring-related Christmas present ideas. Well, I say present ideas, actually, it's landfill.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, we haven't got time to get through all of it, but I want to start with this, right? Now, perfume, as we know, is a very popular Christmas gift. Big names, Givenchy, Chanel. Now, look, the RAC. Yes. The RAC has launched this. They're calling it Eau de Voiture.
Oh, sounds promising.
What you do is you spray it into your car, and as you... It makes it smell like a minicab.
Oh, it's quite strong.
Have some of that.
But it is like a mini
Because
cab.
it smells... Oh,
You cretin!
I'm blind. The thing is, it's what it does, and I've really got a lot of it now, is it's one of those smells that makes you think it's covering up other smells. You like Femme Fresh.
Yeah. Because it's a very strong smell in its own right, but it suggests that there are other things masking.
You get notes, don't you? You get notes, undercurrents, suggestions
I
of...
can smell all the fruity stuff, but also a bit of stale weed. Sick.
I can get a really, really beery burp.
Yes, yes. All the other things you'd expect in a minicab, definitely. I have another gift suggestion here for Christmas. Are you fed up with people bumping into you in a crowd situation?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, well, I have the solution here with these small, ear-mounted human indicators. I kid you not. Oh, this is... I have to just... Right, what happens is, I'm walking along, say, in a shopping centre. Here I am in a shopping centre situation. Oh, you'll be the crowd. OK. Now, there's a danger of jostling happening here, because I'm going to go in that shop on my right.
Yeah.
Well...
Jeez, you can indicate.
So now you know, and you can take evasive action.
And you can go left?
Yeah, if I'm going... I might go... Actually, I fancy the record shop over there. And everybody knows what's happening. Oh, it's a very good gift.
Human indicators. So how much are they, do we know?
Oh, I don't know. Some money.
Then some money. Right, now, news from India. There's a company over there, the car company Tata. They've got a large car division. Got a new car out. Here it is. It's the Jaguar XJ.
It's quite striking to look at. The interior is gorgeous as well. It looks fabulous. Look at that. It's going to cost from £50,000 to £90,000, depending upon the model. There's a direct injection V8, 2 new diesels with 271 and I think 237, 271
Come on,
brake
nobody
horsepower.
gives a pig's arse about all that diesel stuff. it's a new XJ. The important question is it a proper Jag?
Now, what you mean is this car slightly caddish? That's what you actually mean?
Yes.
Is the person who drives it a bit... Oh, what's the word? I'm not quite sure how to sum it up, but the sort of person who would go away for a weekend with his wife to a hotel, some romantic place, and spend the entire night flirting outrageously with a waitress, and it's OK because he's got a Jag.
That's a Jag drive. You can get away with anything. I'm terribly sorry, I ran over your dog. Oh, in my Jag.
Is it fair to say, do you think, that no Jag driver is ever entirely trustworthy, but it's in a really nice, likeable way?
Well, because if you went to a prison, forget the sort of stabbists and the scoundrels, the ones who are in there for a bit of tax dodging.
Yeah.
I bet 80% have got Jags. You know what I mean, don't you? Have you got a Jag? Who here's got a Jag? You've got a Jag? Look at him.
Yeah, he's a Jag driver.
He goes away with a sort of girl for the weekend and then goes, awfully sorry.
Bit of an issue with
Would
the
you
wallet.
mind awfully settling this while I go and warm up the Jag? You know what I mean? The thing is, I think that is just a brilliant, brilliant piece of design because it's a Jag, but it's kind of modern. That's absolutely fantastic-looking car. I can't wait to have a go in it. Look at this superb shirt. It's got everything you need, really. It has a web address here, it's stitched into the collar, and then on the back, look at that, Mercedes-Benz.
That's class.
Oh, yeah. Really, honestly, it's hard to think of any way that this could be improved.
That says, I have a washing machine and everything else I own is already
Well,
in
James, you like a flowery shirt, so why wouldn't you like that?
Well, why would you want...
I think I found a way of improving it.
OK, this is a bad thing. That's a bad thing.
What?
That's...
It's gone out of hand. It's all right. No, it's gone out. Relax. That's actually quite...
James, set fire to the Christmas presents!
I have actually set fire to the Land Rover teddy bear. No, that's...
Just...
You know the smoking rules in Britain? My eyes.
Sorry about that.
Anyway, look. I think
It's
that's
still on fire!
It's not. It's like smouldering, that's all.
Look at this! It's a fork on one end and a 10mm ring spanner on the other.
And the best thing is, there's another spanner in the middle, look!
No, but this means you can go seamlessly from mending your motorcycle to eating a pie without even pausing.
Chaps, you know how difficult it is to choose the right calendar. Because obviously you choose it now and you've got to live with it.
It's a big commitment.
It is. 12 months you have to live with it. So I'm a bit stumped on what I'm going to use next year because there's this one, OK? This is Her Majesty's Prisons of England. Different picture, OK, every every month. But then I found this one. Birmingham's Outer Circle Municipal Bus Route.
Oh, nice.
But then I found, I think, the solution to my calendar problems. The unofficial...
Oh, yes!
Richard Hammond.
Who did that? Look, it's awful.
Unofficial. Yeah, you can have it, James. You can have that one. I've got loads.
Why are you drunk in all the pictures?
Well, I don't know. It looks like all the pictures were taken coming out of awards ceremonies, so yes, I probably was drunk.
Do you know what I really love about that calendar most of all? Because it's unofficial, you all go and buy one. He receives not one single penny.
I know. Thank you for publicising it.
Yeah,
That's
no, really.
very kind.
Just
You would
make
like
sure
to
they've all got it.
recommend
There we go. We'd like
this
to
calendar?
recommend this calendar. Everybody, go and buy it.
Get rid of the damn thing. I hate...
Let's do the rest of the show like that.
Get
Does
rid of
everything get broken in our Christmas thing? Oh, guys, I want to show you this, OK? It's a speeding ticket, which was issued in California, OK? We see here that the car in question is a Bugatti two-door. I'm guessing a Veyron, OK? Speed limit on the road, 65 miles an hour. Recorded speed, 210.
If he'd done that in this country, you'd be put in prison for 2,000 years.
I know. Do you want to know what the fine in California is for doing 210 miles an hour on a road with a 65 mile an hour speed limit? You get basically the maximum fine a judge can impose is $500 for 210 miles an hour. That's the and if you do it again, it's just $750. So goodbye, we're off.
Yeah, that's it. Why
It is
are
a
we
good
there
question.
doing what we do?
I know.
Why do we make Top Gear here? This is the worst country in the world for making a car program.
Honestly, I think we should go. I really do, because that is civilised behaviour.
What I'm really looking forward to is the new Saab 9.5. Here it is.
Unless, of course, Saab went bust in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, God, which is a real possibility.
Yes.
Tell you what, no, seriously, James, really, do this 2 ways. We'll edit it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
OK.
cover yourself.
A car I'm really looking forward to is the new Saab 9.5. There it is. A car I was looking forward to was the new Saab 9.5. That's what it was going to look
No,
like.
they said. They said.
What?
They said.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
They say, or said, that it's based on a jet fighter, or was, but it wasn't. It's actually based on a Vauxhall. You can get a 3-engine, or you could get 3 engines, or maybe you can get 3 engines, the best of which was or is a 2.8-litre V6. That was started about £25,000 and looks great.
Do you know what, James? Why haven't you got a Saab?
Because they've gone bust. But if they haven't, then it is a very good question, because I do actually quite like a Saab. They're just, just a little bit alternative, and they tend to be driven by quite interesting people.
Oh, well, there you go. That's why he hasn't got one, then. Here's a car I'm looking for. I can't wait for this. 911 Turbo Cabriolet. There you look at it.
What? Oh,
yeah.
Hammond, sorry.
I want that. It's twin turbos, 7-speed double clutch gearbox, flappy paddles. I love that thing. I want it.
How old are you?
39.
And 361 days.
Technically, yeah.
You know what that means, don't you? The midlife crisis is arriving. Pretty soon you'll be growing your hair, you'll be whitening your teeth.
Have you bought a Harley Davidson recently?
Yes, I have.
Have
Yes.
you? Really?
Good. All right, it's happening. I agree.
The news. Ferrari, OK, has broken the lap record at the Nürburgring for production cars, OK, with this, the 599XX. It did it in 6 minutes, 58 seconds.
Nürburgring?
That's faster than Clay Regazzoni's lap record in an F1 car. I know the track's a little bit shorter now, but that is almost unbelievably fast for a road car, for a production car.
That is incredible. It does have a 6-litre V12 and 772 horsepower, and it costs £1.2 million. And you can't actually have it.
Well, not unless you've got £1.2 million, obviously.
No, but that's the thing. You can buy it, OK, and you own it, but then they don't let you have it, but they do let you drive it occasionally, if they feel like it.
Can I just say, this was the actual photograph that Ferrari sent to us to show what the car looked like at the Nürburgring. Now, I'm not sure it's particularly brilliant. If we look at the graffiti on the track... Hammond.
Yes, a normal Nissan GTR costs what, 60 grand?
60 grand,
Okay,
yeah.
well, this is the new one. It's the Spec V, the V-Spec GTR. That is £125,000 all of a sudden. Yeah.
Why is it 125?
Do you know, it's difficult to tell. I've had a look. I mean, it doesn't have any more power than the normal car that I can see, but it does have something called a boost control device. Basically, it's a button. When you press it, it spools up both the turbos and releases a sudden burst of more power. I just hope that button is mounted on top of the gear lever, under like a little cage, and you lift it, and and then you've got another code word before you put that in, and then maybe 2 keys in the dash have to be turned simultaneously before
like
you...
on a nuclear submarine.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
You get an EAM and then you turn them and the
Permission from the
executive...
president, it's a go. I want that just for that button.
Yes.
I'm going to point out, because this is sensible Top Gear, that it also comes with a very competitive 3-year warranty.
Yeah. Oh, now, hey, this is an important piece of news. I really want to bring this up. A lot of people imagine the most dangerous time of year to drive is November or perhaps February, dark nights, fog, ice. But we were talking about this the other day, and we think the most dangerous time to drive a car is round about now.
Yeah.
Sunny skies, light breezes, girls wearing short skirts.
Dangerous, very dangerous.
Because the thing is, you can't not look.
No, I mean, you actually can't. It's
You can't
impossible.
physically not look.
You have no choice. Other things you can choose not to do. It's easy not to use your mobile phone when driving. Easy not to drive home when you've had 18 pints of lager. But you're driving along and there's a girl, mustn't look. I'm looking. I'm crashed, I'm still looking. You can't...
Do you have any idea what we're on about? I drove through Soho the other night, honestly. You know Linda Blair in the... spinning around,
80 degrees.
crashing into lampposts and letterboxes and other cars.
It's impossible not to.
The thing is, we know that Jemaine Greer is actually an avid viewer of Top Gear.
Is she?
No, she really is. She is.
In your mind.
No, she is. Anyway, she will be annoyed about this, but the fact is, what we're trying to say is that we can't help it. It's natural. I mean, in the last 3 days, I've nearly had 2 quite serious accidents on the back of a taxi. If you see what I
Even
mean.
James May's susceptible to it. That's
Yeah, but it
proof.
was road work as he was looking at.
Actually, do you not think there is here a case for the burqa?
Ah.
Because
The
the
burqa?
problem goes away
No,
with the burqa.
no,
You're not gonna be-
honestly, the burqa doesn't... It doesn't work, because I was in a cab in Piccadilly the other day, OK? A woman in a full burqa crossing the road in front of me, or in front of the cab, tripped over the sort of pavement, went head over heels.
Face over apex.
Yeah, and up it came, red G-string, stockings.
Mate, that did not happen.
Promise.
You're lying.
I didn't promise.
No.
It did.
Did you see this incident on DVD or pay-per-view?
Because it didn't happen.
The taxi driver will back me up on that. He
He was in the cinema with you.
That never happened.
It did. Oh, now, are there any girls here?
Well,
Good. Don't ever faint in Holland. That would be my Top Gear top tip for the night. We've got some footage here that explains what I'm on about. It's the start of a race. There's the grid girl. Oh, she's got a bit wobbly. And she's fainted. There you go. So you're thinking, poor girl. Yeah, you're thinking, oh no, now she's lying on the track. So as we can see, men in high visibility jackets have come over to make sure she's okay. Or are they making sure she's okay? How do you make... Oh, put your hand on her bottom. That's the ticket. That's what he's done. Now let's hear what the driver's got to say.
Check mijn auto weg. Vol mijn auto. Vol. Wow. Is mijn auto open?
get the girl off. That's a racing driver, isn't it? All over.
Everybody, good news. No, wait, it's better than you think. The new Dacia Duster is coming to the UK.
Okay.
How about that?
That's great.
I really don't care.
Now, that's great. Good. Oh, now, listen. Chrysler is going to launch this little £11,000 car in Britain. And the first thing you need to know about it is, it isn't a Chrysler.
Well,
No, what it is, OK, what happens is, here's the story. Fiat make the 500, OK? They then give that to Lancia, who make it a bit longer and add 2 rear doors. And then Lancia give that to Chrysler, who take the Lancia badges off, put Chrysler ones on, and they're going to sell it in Britain.
So hang on a minute. So Fiat have actually got as far as recycling their cars before they've even sold them.
Yes.
no, it's not a car at all. It's kind of an archaeological dig. Because you buy one, scratch away at the badge, and underneath you discover, ah, yes, it was a Lancia. And then if you go a bit further, you'll find it was a Fiat.
You're not just a Fiat 500, because if you actually keep going, you find it's a Fiat Panda, which is effectively what it is.
Dig a bit further and you'll find a load of coins and a bronze helmet. Some bones.
Yeah, the Piltdown Man is in the glove box of that car. Let's make it go away, because, more importantly, Aston Martin OK, have launched a new car this week called the Virage. The idea is it fits between the quite soft and comfy DB9 and the much more expensive DBS. Fantastic-looking thing. I mean, what is there to say? It's going to cost apparently around £150,000 V12 engine. Absolutely perfect. Just one thing underneath, of course, it is a Fiat 500.
Because everything is.
Because everything is.
Now, there is a new Lamborghini on the way. It's so secret, this, and so new, we don't even have a picture of it yet, but we can tell you that it's the replacement for the Murcielago, and it's going to have a 700 horsepower V12.
I fear, though, it's going to be rather overshadowed by this, OK? Now, this is a new American car, OK? And let me just give you the headlines, if I may. Horsepower, 2,000. So that's twice what you get from a Bugatti Veyron. Top speed, 300 miles an hour. 0 to 60, 1.5 seconds, and it holds the lap records, as we can see here, at the Nürburgring and the Virginia International Raceway.
Hold on a second. 0 to 60, 1.5 seconds.
Yep.
Why haven't we heard about this?
I don't know.
Well, probably because the bloke who did it swallowed his tongue.
He's still stuck down the back of the driver's seat. They can't fish him out.
Oh, no, I apologise. I hadn't read this thoroughly. Look at that. You look at this, you go, here it is. Those are the things, the horsepower goes, we will not quit until we achieve these goals.
It's just a wish list.
It's just a wish list of things. No, I think the biggest problem with this car, though, is its name.
What is it called? The Scrotum.
The sweat crack.
It's called the Dagger.
Well, that's all right.
It isn't.
Quite a good name.
No, Dagger, like little piece of poo stuck in a sheep's anal shrubbery. It's a dagger.
No, it's not a dagger.
It is, you see.
No, that's a dingleberry you're thinking
No,
of.
or Klingon, dingleberry.
It's not a dagger.
Nobody's ever stood over a body and said, oh, what was the weapon? I think he used a dingleberry from the start.
There are certain words that have two meanings.
A dagger is not a dingleberry.
It's not. Lady Macbeth didn't say, is this a dingleberry I see before me?
Turns out it's a great name, and if they can achieve all their goals, it'd be a fantastic car.
We must now do the news.
Well, actually, before we get into the news properly, can I just say that sticking with the Nissan, it's very difficult to get a four-wheel drive turbocharged car like that off the line quickly, except that the Nissan has a thing called launch control. It's basically just a computer that sorts everything out for you. So you plant your foot, wham, you're off, you get a perfect start every time.
Yes,
it's
there is
amazing.
just one problem with launch control. It is the stupidest thing ever fitted to a car.
Why?
No, seriously, because if you think about it, what you have to do to engage it, right, series of switches, and then you put your left foot on the brake, plant your right foot hard down on the accelerator, yeah? And when the lights go green, you take your foot off the brake, and it goes. Computer sorts it out, as you say. So, OK, you're at the lights. And everybody's looking going, what an unintelligent man.
It does make a bit of a scene.
It does, really.
You know what the most uncivilised thing you can do with a car is use launch control at a zebra crossing. That's really...
Come on, old lady! Hurry him up. Can I just say one other thing as well about launch control? Only one of us has it fitted to our car.
Yeah, it's true.
Is it? It's
No,
him.
it's him.
James May has launch control.
Yeah, I don't use it.
Really?
You don't say.
You sure?
No, it's...
Every time you leave the pie shop, thanks for the pies, I'm off.
Can anybody think of a device fitted to modern cars that's more stupid than launch control?
You're fitted to quite a lot, mate.
No, has anybody got any idea?
What, like a gizmo? Like
Gizmo fit... What? No,
No, they're utterly... They're essential.
Very useful, you stupid idiot. Cup holders are brilliant things for if you need a drink and they'll fall out.
Yeah.
No, I have actually a really good one. Is Mercedes and BMW now fit a night vision camera, OK? So you can drive along at night and the dashboard has got this screen showing you what's on the road ahead. So I was driving up a country lane the other day, single track, OK? Doing about 60 miles an hour, which is legal. Middle of the night, I thought, God, I'm going to try and drive just using the night vision camera.
Why am I not surprised?
Turn the lights off, yeah? Look down to see where I was going, and there's just a message saying, night vision not available when lights off. I could hear all the bushes on...
Forgive me. That's night vision that only works in the day.
With the lights on,
It's
yeah.
good for snipers, would it? Stand still, I'll just... Bink, lights on, now I can line up. It's time now for us to do the news, and we begin with this. Attention, morons everywhere. Mercedes have a new hardcore AMG version of one of their cars. It's from their especially ridiculous range of black editions.
Oh,
Here it
now,
is.
I'm sorry, this is a car for connoisseurs.
No, it's a car for...
Yes, it is.
It's
for people who know the difference, for example, between Sweden and Finland.
Yes, all right, sorry.
This is the new black edition of the C-Class, OK? It'll cost you £110,000. It's got the old 6.2-litre V8, tuned version of that, rather than the twin-turbo AMG engines of today. You also get the 7-speed flappy paddle gearbox from an SLS, not so good. But I think it looks fantastic.
Ridiculous.
It's fantastic.
I think it looks infantile.
It does.
James, you are so old, you think Werther's originals are infantile.
Can I just clarify this a little bit? He has got the old CLK Black.
Yes, I do.
And you do. And I went in it the other day.
And you loved it.
I hated it. It's ridiculous. The ride is stupid. It's like being in a touring car.
What's wrong with that?
No, nothing at all. If you're, I don't know, let's say, in a touring car race. If you want to use it, let's imagine, on a road in, let's say, the world, it's absolutely stupid. It's a terrible, terrible car.
You may mock.
Thank you. It's ridiculous.
The fact is that the CLK Black is holding its value a lot better than, I don't know, 911s that you two have, because they only sold 100 of them.
Yes, they did, they did. They would have sold many more, but most of the people that turned up to buy them were wearing those jackets that do up at the back. Do you know? And they'd only been out for the day. I want one of those! I want one of those! Like that.
Yeah, they had eaten the pens that you're supposed to use to fill the options for.
It's a stupid car.
It is a stupid car.
It's a ridiculous... Oh, don't feel sorry for him. Look at the wheel arches on it. It's just... Let's move on.
Yes, let's move
yes.
on. Mister, right?
It's Fisker. It's a K. It's a K.
I thought that was a stupid name.
Let's just move on.
Fisker. Can I just clear it up? You have the traditional electric car, all electric, like a Nissan Leaf and a G-Wiz. Now, that's just batteries, and you have to charge them up at night, yeah?
Yes.
Then you have stupid hybrids, like the Toyota Prius, which are normal cars that have electric motors for a bit of extra power, yeah?
Yes.
So the Fisker is what?
It's actually a petrol engine car. But in a normal car, you get the power from the engine to the back wheels through a gearbox and shafts and so on. On this one, you use the generator and the electric motors.
I'm lost. Don't...
It's a more efficient way of tapping the energy in the fuel. That's why it accelerates like a 400 horsepower GT car, but it only uses as much fuel as a mid-sized
I just don't understand how it works.
I can't dumb it down to your level because I'm scared of heights. That's the problem.
No, listen.
It's energy. You use it to drive the wheels. You get more of it by using that system. People get confused. They talk about electric energy,
Just tell him it's magic electric.
It's magic.
It's magic electric pixies.
There are fairies in the car driving.
That's all you needed to say.
But that's not actually how it works.
I'm not bothered, actually. I'm not interested. Let's do the news. News from the continent. I've always wanted to say that. News from the continent. The French have announced that from July the 1st, you must, by law, carry a breathalyser kit in your car. Now, you can understand the logic behind that until you think about it carefully, because then there's a flaw, OK? You come out of a bar, you've had a glass of wine, you think, am I OK for driving? You use your breathalyser kit, and it says, yes, you are, but then you can't drive because you've used your breathalyser kit.
And it's a one-shot deal, so...
Well, of course it is. You'd have to walk to a chemist and buy another breathalyser kit before you could set off.
Don't they also make us carry warning triangles when we're driving?
Yes, and in France you've also got to carry a full set of spare bulbs and a high-visibility vest.
Aren't all those things kind of the police's job? Do they also want us to stick a load of cones in the back of the car just in case, and maybe a radio and a notepad and a pencil?
But if they're turning us all into policemen, we could stop other motorists and help ourselves to 130 of their euros.
Yes, we could stop Brits on the last tolls just before Calais, who are rushing to get the ferry and have been speeding.
Has anyone here been caught speeding in France?
Well, it's like saying, has anybody been to France?
Do you have to carry, like, handcuffs and a big truncheon as well?
No, that's Holland. Now, Richard, tell me, when you go to work at the BBC in London, where do you park your car?
Well, Jeremy, I park it in the car park at the BBC, underground, where everybody else parks. Where do you park?
I park in the underground car park. It's a bit of a walk, but that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Now, there is a loading bay just outside our office, which is a lot more convenient, but obviously there's no parking there. Now, I took a photograph in this loading bay this week, OK? Here it is. Now, We may recognise this car if we watch The Apprentice. It belongs to Lord Sir Sugar.
Yeah, but to be fair, his chauffeur was probably loading him into the building at the time.
Exactly.
So he could be in the loading
Technically, this was a delivery, so that's fine. More worrying is this, OK? We zoom in. Now, right there's a little Fiat Panda parked, blocking the door, and the honest working men whose job is to deliver things to the BBC. And I'm wondering, Hammond, who has a little black Fiat Panda?
I don't know. At the BBC? I don't know. Is it?
Does David Attenborough? No, he doesn't.
Paxman.
Moving on.
We must now do the news.
Yes, and it's bad news. Dacia have got their name wrong. Have you seen the car ads they've been doing? They keep referring to themselves as Dacia.
No, I think that's because that's how you say it in Romania where it's built.
Hey, you know, there's another labelling problem they've got. Because I was reading up on the new Sandero, it says it's got 90 horsepower. Now, with everything that's been going on, how do we know that isn't cow power?
Yeah. Good point.
Because those abattoirs that are supposed to have got the model are in Romania.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Apparently.
And we went to Romania once, so we did see a lot of people riding around on cows, rounding up horses.
Yeah, and all their farmers complaining about getting up early to milk the horses.
Exactly.
It's a bore.
So it is a 90 cow power car. We've established that. Good.
Now, on this show, we've always said you can't be a proper petrol head until you've owned an Alfa, which has always been a bit of an embarrassing problem for me, because I haven't. But that might be about to change with this, the Alfa Romeo 4-seat, little two-seater, 1.8-litre turbocharged engine mounted in the middle, chassis made of carbon fibre.
Well, at least it won't rust.
No, they'll find a way.
Will they?
Yeah, well, you know, they'll have bought cheap Russian carbon fibre that's somehow oxidised. You know what Alfas are. How much is it?
It's going to cost between 40 and 50,000, something like that.
I've got a bit of a problem with that, I have to say. I don't think the looks are quite right.
Hey, it's gorgeous.
I think it's a bit too tall.
Exactly, it is. I'll tell you how it does look good, though, is if you see the plan view, we've got one of those. Now, that, I think, is good. It's almost a square.
That's a view Hammond will never have.
Oh, come on, please.
Open goal.
It kind of was, yeah, all right.
Now, the Ford Mustang we featured last week in the race across Europe, OK? That seems to have captured the hearts and minds of everybody. I mean, really...
Everywhere I've been, all week, people have been talking to me about that.
Yeah, non-stop. Well, big news. Ford has announced, because they've never sold the Mustang officially in Britain, OK, since 1964, they've announced that the next generation of Mustang coming next year will be built with right-hand drive and will be sold in Britain.
About time. Brilliant, good news.
There is, however, a tiny bit of bad news.
What?
Well, the V8 version will be sold in America, but because we're only British, all we can have is a 2-litre EcoBoost engine.
Oh, for God's sake! Do they think we want that?
I can't understand their logic, because, I mean, if you want a Mustang, it's because you want a big V8 muscle car. There's no other reason for buying one.
Precisely.
So if you want a 2-litre EcoBoost car, you're going to buy a Golf diesel.
Not a Mustang.
It's like saying, I formed a punk band. We've got the cellos, except for Sebastian, he has a harp. Nobody wants a harp in a punk band. Nobody wants a 2-litre EcoBoost engine in a bloody Mustang.
You can keep it, we don't want it.
Yeah, you just keep it. Keep it. Now, a couple of years ago, Ferrari brought out a car called the 599XX, a picture of it here, OK? Now, it's slightly unusual, this, because it cost you £1 million, but you couldn't take it home with you. Ferrari kept it, OK? And nor could you drive it on the road, even if you wanted to, because it's not road legal, and you couldn't sell it without Ferrari's permission. Now, the only thing you could do was ring Ferrari and say, could you take it to such and such a track? You can have a couple of laps in it, and then they'd take it away again.
Yeah. Did anybody actually fall for this?
Yeah, 30 people. 30 people, well, that's a good deal. That is a good deal. I'll have one of those.
£1 million.
And now Ferrari is saying to these 30 people, if you give us another £200,000, we'll fit the car you don't actually have with a rear spoiler.
200,000?
£200,000 for that rear spoiler.
What's it made from?
Spoiler material. It's one of those, you know, well, you won't know, but it's a DRS spoiler like you get in Formula 1.
I know that. They sell sofas.
It's a DRS one, so it opens and closes depending on whether you're going around a corner or going down the straight.
Can I just say, who are these 30 people that bought those things? I want their email addresses because I'd like to sell them a clock.
What clock?
It's really big. It's on, like, a tower in London next to the Houses of Parliament. And I can sell it to them.
Could they take it home with them?
No, they couldn't take it home, but it'll be their clock.
Good marketing.
Yeah, I think so.
Can I let you into a little secret?
Oh, is it time?
No. Look, can I let you into a little secret? You know those gantries over the motorway? They've got them on the M25 and on the M1, OK? Now, the idea is they've got speed limits on them, so you can temporarily lower the speed limit to warn drivers of an accident or congestion ahead. And then there are speed cameras on the back of the gantries to make sure that people do actually slow down. Well, now, here's my secret. It turns out the police can turn those cameras on at any time they like.
Really?
Which means the chief constable sitting there at his desk thinks, I fancy a new car. Pop the cameras on, and after, well, I was going to say half an hour, but probably 10 seconds, he's got enough for a supercharged Jag.
We should point out, for reasons of BBC impartiality, that other luxury cars are available to bent chiefs of policemen.
Have we got any Scottish people here?
Yes.
Would you like to just step outside just for the next few minutes?
Please.
Have a bit of a chat. It's about Scottish independence. It's just that we've heard a lot of talk in recent weeks about what Scotland would lose if you choose to go on your own, but nobody's talking about what England would lose, and it is actually quite a lot, because we'd lose North Sea Oil, the sub-base at Fastlane, all tramps.
Oh, God.
And we'd also lose a significant chunk of our motoring heritage, and I'm not talking now about the Hillmans and Talbots that were made at the Linwood plant just outside Paisley. No, I'm talking about stuff like the mighty Argyll, Scotland's finest. Wow. Look at that masterpiece.
Do you know, when that car came out, it was the same price as a Ferrari 308, and hardly anybody bought one.
Really?
It is remarkable, because you look at that, well, plastic body, and you know, when you just look at the way the door fits, that is a quality product, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
What engine did it have?
Ah, well, now it's interesting. Engine-wise, you could have either an engine from a Lancia, a Peugeot, Renault. You could have a Buick V6.
Basically, it was whatever turned up in the scrapyard that week.
Basically, yeah. Packed it in there.
Well, actually, you could also have it with the option of a turbocharged Rover V8. And guess how many of those they sold?
Was it none?
Yes, it was none.
Absolutely none at all. And I have to say, it wasn't just supercars where Scotland was ahead of the game. They were ahead of the curve also with electric cars, because way back in the day, they made a little car called the Scamp. Got a picture of it here.
Great Scott. That still has the power to take your breath away even today.
It does, doesn't it, just? It's a rather tragic story, though. It was made of aluminium and wood, and it was going to be sold through electricity board showrooms, which I remember, actually. But when they took it to the government test centre to get a roadworthiness certificate before they could put it on sale, there was a bit of a problem. In one test, the government engineer noted, and I've written all the problems here down, the speedo broke, the electric motor stopped working, the back door flew open, the spare wheel fell out, the steering went wrong, and then the suspension snapped. And that was the end of that.
Oh, and yet it looked so full of promise, didn't it, there?
Now, the news, and the news is, you may have read about this recently, there are plans to open pubs in motorway service stations.
I don't get that.
I don't get it either, because as it's on a motorway, you're bound to be driving, which means you can only have one drink, and when it comes to drink, one is impossible.
Yeah, I guess.
Because it leads to many, yeah.
What if you're the passenger?
Oh, I see, James. So I'm driving you, and as I fill up with petrol, you say, I'm going to go and get a gin and tonic.
Yes.
Well, if you do that, you may as well prepare a sign that says Hammersmith on a bit of card, because when you come out, I'll have gone.
I'm not actually that interested in pubs and motorway service stations. What really bothers me is, why do they sell trousers? Because I've never got halfway. Has anybody ever gone halfway through a motorway journey and they thought, I forgot my trousers? I better get these elasticated beige ones.
I don't understand why people even stop to eat at a motorway service station.
There is no car journey in Britain that could be so long that you would starve to death before you got to it.
That's my argument with the pub thing, is it's not that far to wait for a drink. You don't think, I'm so desperate, I'm going to pull over and have half a pint of shandy. Stupid.
I would.
Well, that's because you're a raving alcoholic, James.
I've got some news. Cadillac has made a concept car, and here it is. It's called the CL. Oh. Yeah, I know, looks astonishing. It's got a twin-turbo, a V6 in it. They say it's going back to their roots.
What, so it'll rock for 5 hours after you get out of it?
No.
Does it have a 400-year-old woman from Florida in it?
No, it's about the sort of grandeur and splendour and scale. It's 19 feet long, so it's enormous, but it's only 50 inches high, so it's long and low and mean.
So they've built a plinth, essentially.
Yes, but it comes, they say, with a cigar humidor in it.
What, in America? Well, that's like saying this new car for Saudi Arabia with a minibar.
Yeah, you couldn't use it, could you? No.
This new car for Israel. The bonnet's made of bacon.
Yeah, don't smoke cigars in America, but it's a magnificent-looking thing.
Right, now, can we talk about BMW?
Yes.
Yes.
They're on a bit of a roll at the moment. They are making some cracking cars.
Very much so. Yeah.
No, they really are. And now there's another new one coming, OK? It's called the 4 Series. Got a picture of it here. And what it is, it's a replacement for the 2-door 3 Series Coupe. And I think that looks absolutely fantastic. And best of all, there's going to be a motorsport version. So that'll be called the M4. So presumably it'll be fantastic at one end and then very dark and miserable at the other end. And then you'll pay a toll to put something in the boot but not to take it out again.
Why are they naming it after the M4? Because it's awful. I have to spend a lot of time on it, and it's the worst motorway in the world, so call it something else.
Well, hang on a minute. If you think the M4 is the worst motorway in the world, why do you spend all your life driving up and down it?
Because I live at the other end of it.
Why don't you live at our end of it?
Because my house is at the other end.
Well, move house.
Well, because that's my house. I like living there, I just don't like travelling there on the motorway.
But that's a large part of living there, is travelling there on...
Yes, but I like being on Top Gear. I don't like having to talk to
Just
you.
live where Top Gear is made. You can live at our end, you can do things like have electricity, sewers, watch television, you can go out for a Chinese meal, an Indian meal...
My end of the M4, I just don't like the bit in between it and where you are.
But how much of a shock is it to you to get into a car where we live and then get out to the other end? All you can do is light a candle or make your own chutney. It must be...
I like it.
Anyway, the BMW goes on sale at the end of the year. Prices start at £31,500, unless, of course, you live where Hammond does, in which case it's 16 groats and an oxen. James, Richard, bad news. You see the girl with the red beret on?
Yeah.
She's from Albania.
Hello!
Oh! And can I just ask, is it right that the word car means... and peach? Yes.
I thought you made it up.
No, he didn't make it up. She's actually from Albania.
Oh, fair enough.
Now, actually, I have got some more information on this. You know, in the film I said that some of the cars might be stolen.
I know you did. That was shocking.
Yes, it was. Anyway, I've got some information here on it, OK? Albania's public order minister was on his way to Greece recently to sign an agreement with his opposite number in Greece on cross-border crime, OK? And as a formality, the Greek police did a check on his car and found it was nicked. And that was the public order. And then, now, just so I balance this out, OK? Neighbouring Macedonia... the Interior Minister was very embarrassed when police noticed her car was actually registered to David Beckham.
That actually happens to footballers quite a lot, though, doesn't it? Because there were two AC Milan players. They had their Range Rovers nicked. Do you know where they turned up?
Oh, Bournemouth?
No, it was Albania.
No way!
I have to say, though, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, genuinely, Albania is a fascinating, brilliant country. Very pretty as well. I mean,
absolutely
really
beautiful.
Really loved it.